Hi everybody, this is Amanda Ellis of amandaellis.co.uk, Facebook page Angelic Celestial Colours. I'm making a video for you on the end of February for March 2016, but to be honest this is going to be a very general video that you can watch at any time that you need it when you feel as though your power has been taken away from you to a degree by a situation, a relationship with another, something that has been said, an action, whatever it is that's put you into a disempowered state. And we're going to be looking at how do we get ourselves back into our own power, back into our own divine truth, so that we can then carry on the next stage of our spiritual path. This is coming up for a lot of people at the moment, and it was triggered by a post I wrote on my Facebook page yesterday, which has had a lot of views, a lot of responses, and a lot of private messages that have come into me since doing it. So I know we're onto something here, and I know there's a big need out there to address this. It came in via somebody who had been told something, particularly by someone along the psychic lines, something very negative, something quite cruel, something that this person had had to live with. You know, words can be very beautiful, loving energies, but they can also be very toxic, hateful energies. And we've really got to think carefully about the words that we say to others, as well as what we actually allow into ourselves as well. So that comes back also to who do we listen to? Who do we go to for advice? Who do we seek counsel from? And I feel as though we're probably running into this problem right now because so many of us are now into this fourth and fifth dimensional frequency where we've just got to follow our heart. We have to follow our heart and our gut instincts, use our senses to tell us when something feels right or something feels wrong. And that is also to do with who you go to, who you train with, who you listen to, basically. And although we started off in terms of the whole psychic area, and there's nothing wrong with that per se. I have many friends who are really good psychics and who come from a very loving, open heart space and who genuinely just want to help and serve people, try and put themselves out of the picture, as it were, with their own stuff and just channel through what they feel is the right thing for that person. But it should always be done. Someone who's good at this will always do it in a way that says, this is what I feel, this is what could happen, but you have free will. You always have free will. Nothing is predetermined anymore, particularly in fifth dimensional consciousness. Anything can happen. We're going with the flow. It's changing on a day-by-day basis. So although we started in the psychic area, actually I want to sort of broaden it out into advice generally. This can be advice from family, from friends. It can be advice from authoritarian figures in our society as well. I have to say something here actually about medical establishment as well. I'm a great believer in seeking medical advice if there is something mentally or physically wrong with you, okay? I would always endorse that. I would always say that is what you need to do. Because what I do, what other people like me do, is complementary to a more orthodox approach, which is sometimes needed as well. But, in my own personal life, and I'm going to say it because she won't mind me saying it, but I've got a mother, I've talked about her before. And the reason I've mentioned her a few times actually in my work is because there's been a lot of learning from me in terms of how her life has panned out. And in a lot of ways, she's been a real teacher for me. Not always in terms of how I think you should do things, but very much in terms of, gosh, this is what happens if you don't maybe follow certain things. But my mum's 70 now, and I think probably in her early 20s, a doctor sat her down and basically told her she would never be well. And this is like a mental health issue. Told her she would never be well, and that this was something that was just going to have to be lived with, and she had to accept it. And hey presto, 50 years later, we still have the same problem. And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're told something, whether it's by a psychic, whether it's by a doctor, whether it's by a counsellor, whether it's by a friend sometimes as well, we have a choice in terms of whether we take that into our body, into our energy body as truth, or whether we don't and we let it go. So this is very much what this video is concerned with. If you have got something in your head, and it feels like it's in your head rather than your heart, something in your head that has been going round and round, it's something that's been told to you by somebody, it's never sat particularly well with you, maybe it's actually brought enormous fear into your life as well, then it's time for this to be gone, okay? So we're going to be erasing negative messages that you have chosen to ingest and integrate into your body with the help of Archangel Metatron. And he's actually drawing me, before we do any meditation or visualization work, to one of the images that I've got behind me. Okay, these are paintings that are being done for the Metatron Oracle deck that's going to be out this year. Both of those paintings are sold. They arrived in my house today, actually, so I'm going to be posting them up today for their new owners. But this is the one that I'm being drawn to. In fact, Metatron's saying just grab it and let's have a closer look at it. There is a channeled message that goes with this, and I'm not going to be necessarily talking about that, but this is the image of codependency, okay? So what can often happen is when a message comes into us, it often comes in from somebody who is trusted sometimes, because we place trust in that person. It may be somebody that we really like, who is already in our life, and it feels as though they have control and power over us. So it's almost as though another interpretation of this picture is that we can be one of the trees, as it were, and then the other party who has given us the information is the other one. But it's as though we become tied together in a really dysfunctional pattern. And until you have literally, what I'm wanting to do is actually prune those branches in the middle so that you're free of that other person's influence. That negativity is still going to carry on, basically. So let's just put that painting back up there. So I've got my full attention on cards and screen and everything else. Okay, I would like to firstly pull a colour. And the one I'm being told to pull is the Midnight Indigo. This is a dark, beautiful dark indigo blue, really lovely. Midnight indigo, light in the dark. This is the one that helps us to face our shadow, okay? So it helps us to face that side of ourselves that has actually allowed somebody else to come in and disempower us, because effectively that is what's happened. And we have to accept responsibility for that, okay? It's no use blaming the other, thinking that they've done it to us. Well, they have done it to us, but we have allowed that to happen. So let's take a look at that. And I'm just going to go into this place with the Midnight Indigo, and let's just see what Metatron has to say about that state of being. Okay, so this is almost like the disempowered state. So I'm just spraying the Midnight Indigo around me. And the first thing he's saying to me is he's reminding me that actually he asked me to stand up to make this video for you, because what I'm being shown in a disempowered state is somebody that is not standing up. It's somebody that's symbolically crouched on the floor, almost with their hands over their head like that, very closed, not really seeking the divine truth within them, but it's a very defensive pose, I suppose. It's a very small, inward looking, but not inward in a good way, pose. Okay, so it's like this. It's all closed down, it's all contracted. Whereas actually I'm being asked to stand up to deliver this message to you, which is the opposite of that. So let's go into that hunched, huddled, small state for one moment. Breathe into it, and this is the message. When you lose your own inner light and you lose your own way and you lose your own truth, you open yourself up, cracks appear, within the aura that allow a lower vibrational energy to enter your space. This lower vibrational energy may come in initially with the best of intentions. However, it is a mismatch of energy between you and them. It is you signaling to somebody else that you do not have your own power, you are not in your own truth, and so you need their energy. There is a difference here between asking for help and support, which is healthy and natural and normal. This is about boundaries and knowing when help and support has been offered and disempowerment actually starts to breach the boundary line, invade your personal space, both mentally and physically, so that you start to think as the other, believe what the other says, follow a slightly different path, momentarily or for weeks or months, allowing somebody else to have control over your thoughts, over your beliefs, over your actions. If you allow it, these words said or actions done can filter through the crack of the aura to become deeply embedded into a part of you that starts to feel like your truth. You start to feel that this is me, these are my thoughts, this is my choice. Yet it is actually somebody else's energy that is integrated with yours in a dysfunctional way. This is what we are working on today. Removing the other person's influence from you so that you become whole and who you are 100% in your light and your power again. See it as a sign of your own progress that you can actually recognize that there is this foreign energy within you, whether in your mind or lodged somewhere else as a block within you, that now needs to go. Forgive the one who has disempowered you and realize that at soul level, you asked for this lesson. Okay, I'm just going to stand away from that energy now. I'm actually just being told to spray the orange just to change the energy around me. Maybe you'd just like to imagine a beautiful orange flame colour coming around you, which is Metatron's ascension light, just lifting that energy. Okay, he's shown me traffic lights. So it's like in the UK, we have 3 colours for the traffic lights. Red is stop, which is what you've been on. Stop, take attention of what Metatron is saying to you here. Amber is get ready, which is where we are now. What's going to follow is green, freedom. I like that. It's a really lovely analogy, Metatron. We like that one. Okay, I like that a lot. He's making me smile. Okay, so let's just see where we're going to go with this now. Yeah, I want to say something before we do the next bit of healing, which is that it's something that I've been observing myself recently in my own life. And this isn't necessarily about the subject we're talking about, but it is also applicable to that, which is that Why do we so often need a complete extreme to get to the other answer? Okay, it just feels that sometimes is the way. I suppose we live in this world of duality, don't we? Maybe it comes back to that, but it's all about trying to get the balance. So from having been in a disempowered state to being in an empowered state, it's just like chalk and cheese. The whole thing is chalk and cheese the whole time. So, and it is so applicable to life a lot of the time that we need to feel something to change it into something more positive. So I really feel as though whoever you are thinking of at the moment in this video, or whatever situation or relationship that it's bringing up for you to be healed and to be cleansed, can we just spend a moment thinking about that person or that situation? And if you just close your eyes for one moment and just connect into your higher self, it's as though I'm just asking you to actually look into that other person's higher self or the other situation's higher energy. And it's also just an acknowledgement and a bowing of the head that they have been of service to you in some way by waking you up to actually be able to stand once more in a moment when we've got the green light in our own light and our own truth again, okay? So, and forgiveness definitely comes into it as well. But I think we've got to get the green light before we can forgive. Okay, I'm being asked to pull one of these cards, which is the Angels of Atlantis cards. I haven't used them for a little bit of a time, but I was pulled to them today. So let's just see what card comes up for us. And it's this one, Archangel Gabriel, Grace. That is the bird, isn't it? That is just flying so beautifully with grace. And do you know, I think the energy of grace, we don't talk about it enough, do we? It's such to be in a state of grace is something to be strived for, to have as our goal, really, that whatever we face in life, whatever the challenges are, whatever the difficulties are, whatever has been done to us by another, to be able to hold a state of grace is really, really important. And I just wonder what the word grace means to you. Maybe just think about that for a moment. And I'm going to use the white spray to go into the energy of grace. Grace is to see the blessings in any situation, to see the hidden light in all circumstances, to see the one that disempowered you as the person who taught you the meaning of your own truth and your own light, to be calm, to be gentle, to hold love, to count to 10, to pause, to be still, to hold love, even to those that have done you harm. And I'd like you now just to bring to mind either the words that have been said to you, the person that has disempowered you, the relationship or the situation, and knowing that Archangel Metatron is right here with you now, it's as though we have you and the other in front of you, and we have this ball of energy, which is the energy of grace, in between the two of you. And with the energy of grace in between the two of you, it allows the higher vibrational truth to come through. And whatever words, actions, or behaviours have affected you and disempowered you, I'm being told now that we need to throw them symbolically into this beautiful ball of white, sparkling energy that is right here with us now. It's so big, I'm actually stepping back from it. And I ask you after the count of 3 to put in whatever you want to into this white ball of grace. There is nothing that is too negative, that is too spiteful, that is too angry, that is too vindictive, that is too untruthful, that is too wrong, that can't be put into this ball. And by throwing it into this white energy, it transmutes it and turns it into a state of grace. And we have the beautiful dove of peace here, waiting then to take this energy away. But we are now just going to, together, put into this ball anything that no longer serves you, any labels, any tags, any hurtful words, any prophecies, any predictions. Throw them all into this ball now. I'm just reaching for my tuning forks. I'm going to tone 3 times. Three more times. And the sound and the white light transmutes, carries away all of this negative energy. Dove of peace taking it, taking all the words, all the actions, all those things that help make us disempowered, taking it away. And then if you're not already standing up, if you can, you may wish to stand up. And I'm going to spray a golden energy around you. Pure golden energy. This is the stellar gateway chakra colour. So we're bringing down a high vibrational light through the stellar gateway all the way down your chakra system. Visualizing and imagining golden light coming down in a pure straight line down the 12 chakras of your body, the stellar gateway, the soul star, bright beautiful gold into the crown, golden light flowing down into the third eye, around the back of the head, golden light flowing down into your ears, golden light flowing down into your throat, golden light flowing down into your altar major, golden light flowing across your shoulders, golden light flowing into your throat and your higher heart, golden light flowing into your heart, golden light flowing into your solar plexus, soaking up the gold, golden light flowing down into your sacral, golden light flowing down into your base. Take it all the way around the back. Golden light down into your knees, golden light down into your shins, your ankles and your feet. Golden light all the way through your body, Take it down into the earth below you, connecting into your Earth Star chakra, a pure, brilliant beam of golden light flowing through you from above, linking you deep into the core of Mother Earth, which is a beautiful molten gold. And as you feel the gold beneath your feet, you feel the gold above your head, you feel the gold within your solar plexus, and from the solar plexus and your stomach, that golden light now just starting to radiate out. Beautiful golden aura all around you, a cocoon of gold. And those of you that are working with Merkaba energy, a 3D, beautiful star, shaped, energetic field forms around you, which Metatron activates. You are within your golden star. You are back in your own power. And in that space of being within your golden star, with gold running through you, beneath you, and above you, the person, the situation, the relationship that you have asked for healing about, we just bring temporarily them back, and they see you in your golden, ascended, empowered state. And you see them looking at you, turning away, walking away, realizing that those words, those behaviors, those actions can no longer touch you. They have no power anymore over you. We send them with love. We send them with thanks for the lessons that they taught us. We do not need the influence anymore. How does that feel? Pretty good from where I'm standing, and I'm being told to show you another painting. Arrived today. This is my own one that I'm keeping. It's so bright you can't really see it. Can you see it if I turn the light a little bit? The colours are just not coming across on the video. It is a bright gold painting. This is the Archangel Metatron Gateway painting. And when you are in your golden empowered state, you walk through these gates on the earth. You're not going anywhere. And you are able to perform your role, whatever that means, to be here, listening to your own truth. It's as though you're connecting into your own angelic self, which Metatron has reminded you that is there. Metatron is a bridge who brings you back to yourself, who connects you back to your own divinity, your own truth. And Metatron will never, ever disempower you. He will always empower you. Wow, can you see the gold? It's so funny on the video because it almost looks like the angels disappeared through the gate. So it's almost like confirmation you've just gone through that gate. You've gone through that golden gateway. And you can only do so, I'm being told, it's almost like you can only do so alone. It's a bit like when we're born and when we die. We can only do that alone. We have to do it alone. And actually, to be fully empowered and in our truth and in our light, it's about doing it for ourselves, not letting somebody else do it for us. We can turn to people for support, turn to people for friendship, turn to people for help. But remember what Metatron was saying, it's about boundaries, okay? And when someone has crossed over that boundary and you have allowed it, then you have to reinstate it, which is what we've been doing with the gold. So the colours that help you with this whole process are gold, gold, and gold again. It's always gold. Gold is the colour to put you back into your power, okay? So there's lots of other colours that can help as well, of course, but gold is the real gold standard, Metatron is saying. He's having a bit of a joke with you here. Okay, I'm going to end on one card here. Let's just see what we get to. Oh, well, actually, there's a couple come out there. Oh, so good that these two came out. Archangel Raziel. Don't know a great deal about Raziel. He's not an angel that I've connected with a great deal, but I'm pretty sure he's to do with third eye development and he's to do with our intuition. And of course, the card here says Raziel, intuition, Raziel, faith. Okay, so that is spot on. You know, when we're empowered, we are being asked to follow our own intuition. Okay, our intuition, our gut feel, our heart-based response to something. Fifth dimensional consciousness, we know the answers. You know when you meet somebody, you know, whether you resonate with them or not. It's not about liking or dislike. It's about whether you resonate with that person's energy or not. And equally, when somebody says something to you in 5D, you just know whether it feels the truth or not, okay? So he's saying Raziel with Metatron is wanting to help us with this. And faith, you know, okay, it all goes back to trust and faith, doesn't it? Believing in yourself, you know, having faith in yourself to make your own decisions, to follow your own path, you know, no one else can tell you that. Metatron can help you and he can support you, but he's never going to say, it's only one way. There is only one path and you have to do it this way. I guarantee that will never happen. He will suggest things to you and they can evolve and they do change over time. But it's about having trust and faith in your own abilities. That's what he's reminding you about. You know, that's what Metatron reminds you about. And Raziel too. I think it might just be quite nice as Raziel's come in so strongly at the end, just to try and link into him with a colour. And actually the third card, I've been told to pick that one as well, Hanael, willpower. That comes into it too, doesn't it? Because you are going to have moments of weakness again where you think, oh, but it's so much, okay, it's so much easier just for somebody else to tell me what to do, you know? We all have moments like that. Everyone has moments like that. But the willpower card is saying, come on, you know, the whale here is symbolic of a wise creature, which is you. You know, you need a bit of willpower to see this one through, to keep reinstating those boundaries, to keep reclaiming your power back, even if you have to do it on a weekly basis. In fact, I think that would be a very good idea to build it in as some sort of ritual that we do on a very regular basis, because boundaries shift and change all the time, you know, and also our emotional state shifts and changes all the time. And so when we're feeling low or we're feeling vulnerable, which we will do at some point again, it's going to be easy for that, you know, that disempowerment to happen. So a ritual along the lines of just connecting into the gold, you know, just asking Archangel Metatron to show you the state of the boundaries around you. And I'm being told some of you, when you really tune into that, you're going to see great big holes in your boundary lines, or there might not even be a boundary line, I'm being told with some of you, okay? So in meditation, in visualization, just close your eyes. And okay, let's just do it together, he's saying, just to illustrate this. I'm going to use the emerald green, which is for renewal and recovery, okay? So this feels, the emerald I use all the time. I mean, any of the green sprays would be good. And actually he's talking to me here about the green in this beautiful image here. The green, the lushness of that green, which is actually there to support the growth of these two trees that are apart from each other. So let's just take a look at your boundary line. I'm going to just ask you to visualize, ask you to feel and sense your personal space. Okay, so just think about your personal space, where you're sitting, where you're standing. You are comfortable in your own personal space. And I'm wanting you to tune into where your personal space stops and where other people are allowed to come in. And this does not include a romantic sexual partner, okay? It also does not include children. and it does not include maybe sick and ailing parents. Okay, so I'm being told those are times when boundary lines can blur. I mean, we still have to have them in place, but you can't have a really rigid boundary with those type of people. Okay, so but just take a look at your boundaries generally in life. This is a general boundary line. And I want you to, what I'm being told to do is that you're all being asked to push them out a little bit more, okay? They're all feeling too close to your body. Push them out a little bit more and just allow yourself to breathe in a sense of freedom and space from other people generally, okay? It's great to have other people in our life, but not so that they get so close that they're infringing who we are as a divine being of light in our own right. So just push those boundary lines back a little bit more, and then it's almost, I'm seeing big welcome signs on the boundaries, but it's almost as though there are set times and places and situations where they can come in, okay? So I hope that resonates. It does with me. I think it's something to do. I'm also being told that the message that goes with boundaries for the Metatron painting is very good for you to hear. I have no idea whether I actually have it in this file or not. If I don't, what I will try and do is I'll put it up online. And I do have it. Okay, this is the painting for boundaries. It was sold to somebody last year. Sorry, I'm not very good with trying to line pictures up. Okay, so this is the boundary picture, green, and I'm going to end this session just reading you the message that goes with it. So boundaries, set them daily. And just imagine that beautiful green energy around you that we were just working with, that lovely emerald green in the painting and in the emerald green of this spray. Every day, as the sun rises, you have an opportunity to set your personal boundaries for the day. Are you going to allow others to dictate your thoughts, emotions, and actions? Or are you going to stand tall in your power and reclaim back your energy, time, and life for what is most important to you? You will be tested along life's path by those that drain you, those that disrespect and devalue who you are, and the precious life that you have to be lived fully every day. Ultimately, it is your responsibility to create clear boundaries that work for you in all areas of your life. Look at where you allow others to take advantage. Look at where you put yourself last. Look at any relationship, be it business or personal, where the balance of power is all wrong and you are the one doing all the giving or taking. Archangel Metatron invites you to create a walled green garden around you where you can retreat and realize what is important, who is essential, and which tasks daily need attention and those that do not. The answers to a balanced life lie in this lush, fertile place where you create the reality that you need to sustain you every day. There are times when you will be drained and you need replenishment to carry on helping and caring for loved ones when sick or ill, but you can only do this if you first look after yourself. The same goes for many other situations in life, e.g. raising children, being responsible for others. The key to being at peace and in control of your life starts with boundaries. Without them in place, you lie exposed to the demands and whims of others, and a disempowered state of being. Realise too that boundaries change. What serves you one month may need changing the next, which is why green as the colour of growth, expansion and space is so important. The boundary line depicted here is a hedge, something soft and yielding that can be carved into any design that is needed to help you. It is not hard or rigid, it is alive, just as you are, to protect, preserve and support you. Feel your boundaries around you today. Are they in place or are they there at all? Look at times you have said yes and learn when to say no and when to say nothing at all. When such lessons are learnt, the holy grail of a day well lived and well spent is available to you all. We wish you well. So those were channeled words that I did for that particular painting for the Metatron deck. I'm just going to let in the lovely sun just to say goodbye to you. I think probably I'll do another video for March, which will be a more general sort of reading for March. But that was important to get that one done first today. Lots of love, everybody. Keep in your empowered divine state, and I honour and respect that. Namaste.